There's frost everywhere. Intense navigating. Do. We are in the Dismal Swamp. So much duckweed around.
We bumping along some logs and stuff that are sitting on the bottom. We felt the boat kind of whoop, whoop. The duckweed does in fact get worse and worse along the way, and got our rudder caught in a log. Opened the through hole and there was no water coming into the strainer. We gotta keep an eye on our buddy boat here though, because they've been having trouble as well.
That's fair, I'll see with my eye. Good morning. This morning isn't actually that good because there's frost everywhere. Walking on the boats is like super slippery and it's so cold, so we really gotta get south. And apparently it's calling for snow on Tuesday? What? I thought we were going south, running away from winter, so we gotta go faster. Since it was so cold in the morning, we decided to get up at sunrise and take a walk around the forest, taking in those first morning sun rays and letting the frost melt off the deck. So are we moving on?
Yeah, we will be in a minute.
What's happening?
Oh, we're moving out of the way for a couple of boats that wanted to go a little earlier, but it's a little tricky because there's a lot of seaweed and stuff, or duckweed. It doesn't really make it that tricky, but our boat really likes to go to starboard on reverse and not to, oh sorry, it likes to go to port. And yeah, it's just a little bit annoying because we don't want to go to port when we're tying up on port. That's why we always tie up on starboard. Lucky for us, a couple boats left ahead of us in hopes to catch the early morning opening of the lift bridge. Since we had already untied our lines, we decided to follow, which gave us a little more clear water to pass through without so much duckweed.
This is intense navigating. We are in the Dismal Swamps and we kind of hit a couple of things. We hit a couple of logs, maybe the bottom as well. We're keeping an eye on the sea strainer because there's so much duckweed around. And we smelled something not so good around down below, but it seems like it's not us. Maybe the cat in front of us.
Well, he's electric though, so it's unlikely that it's him. So I think it's something nearby. But yeah, we keep seeing like 3 feet on our depth sounder there. So yeah, we're bumping along not the bottom, but we're definitely bumping along some logs and stuff that are sitting on the bottom. We felt the boat kind of whoop, whoop, a couple times. So yeah, it's a little bit stressful, but at least we're going real slow. So we were just chatting with some of the guys who left earlier this morning, and they made it to the lock opening at 8:30. And yeah, it seems like the duckweed does in fact get worse and worse along the way. We were warned of this over at the first lock, that it's up to 2 feet deep in some areas. And honestly, I was starting to think that maybe it was just exaggerated. But apparently entering the next lock, the boat that went through actually stopped dead in their tracks before they made it to the lock, and they had to reverse and then plow through it again. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. We are also keeping a very, very close eye on our sea strainer, but something I am a little concerned about is our actual intake into the sea strainer, because if that gets clogged, we don't have like an air compressor or even a shop vac or anything to push air through. It might be like blowing it by mouth or something. Hopefully we can get it unclogged if that actually does happen. So yeah, anyway, it's an interesting morning, that's for sure. Hopefully these 2 boats in front of us plow the way for us and make it a little easier on us. Yeah, let's see how it goes.
This is so weird. We're just coasting. The engine's dead. Well, dead. We just shut it down and Corey went down below to clean up the strainer because we've got to turn off the water. So gotta shut down the engine for this. And right now we're just kind of slowly coasting and almost stopped. And everyone up ahead has stopped because we're waiting for a bridge to open up to let us go through.
Well, that was really no fun. We let ourselves drift a bit too close to shore and got our rudder caught in a log, and we couldn't really get off of it. And then there was a tree hitting our mast. Now I got branches in my freaking cereal. What is this?
And on there. Well, one of our friends had the brilliant idea of tying off to the side, so we ended up tying our bow into that little shrub. There's pretty much no wake, no nothing, so hopefully we'll be holding off here quite well, because the bridge is still not opened, so it's taking a while, way too long.
I got the outboard going just to get us through the lock.
Perfect. Yeah, I guess you're still not getting any water. You're really working hard there.
The log's not moving. They're so much slower than the ones in the Erie Canal. Even when you're going down or up, you don't really have anything to do. It's super slow. And it's about 8 feet up and now 8 feet down. And then we're gonna go to Elizabeth City.
All the way over does nothing. Once you're all the way over the wheel. Got a plate on the ground.
Man, look at all this duckweed. It's so crazy. That's why our strainers are getting clogged. So I just cleared the strainer. When I took off the strainer, I opened the through hole and there was no water coming into the strainer. So that's why we were getting the beeping and the light coming on. And I used a little hook to pull out what was in there with the valve open. And we were able to get a leaf about that big out. So we're good now. We should be okay. We gotta keep an eye on our buddy boat here though, because they've been having trouble as well.
He's having the same problem.
Yeah.
Mario.
I've located the problem, I just can't fix the problem.
Where is it?
Right from my pickup.
Oh, okay.
I can't get anything. I mean, once we're at the dock, I think there's other things I can try.
Yeah.
But I've blown some really strong air through it, and it's violently coming out the other side, so there's something in there.
What about the
Really?
hanger? Is there not a close hanger and you just slide it in?
It's so hard to get at, and it's so...
It's in a weird
I
spot.
tried. Yeah.
I know, I thought of that because we have a fly swatter. I'm like, maybe if we take the wire.
Yeah, we can use our clothes hanger so much. It's just like
Yeah.
feeding stuff through or getting in those really like shallow holes. You're welcome.
All right. Hopefully you guys have no more issues though.
I know.
Well, hopefully that'll get us to the city.
Yeah.
We hit a tree. We hit a tree too.
Oh yeah, I saw actually. Of course, like I think they're in the
I
tree.
lost momentum.
Oh no.
Shit happens.
Certainly does.
Everyone's having trouble.
Yeah.
This was the longest 20 miles, which took us all day. After overheating, we slowly cruised down the Dismal Swamp at 3 knots, regularly checking our raw water strainer. We also stayed close to our friends Scott and Toby, whose engine wouldn't start, and were using their dinghy outboard. We finally made it to Elizabeth City on a free dock.
So far it's been quite nice. There's quite a few free docks, including this one here right by the
Mid-Atlantic Christian University.
that's it. So yeah, we've got a free spot here. There seems to be some sweet amenities. I'm not sure if the water's on now. Perfect. So we got water and we got some hot showers, and yeah, it's gonna be really nice. And the next area we're going by is we're crossing across the sound tomorrow, hopefully, if the weather is nice. But yeah, it's been an interesting day full of fixing engines, or fixing raw water anyway, and trying to keep our engines going for the period of time to get through the Dismal Swamp. It's been a lot of fun.
And Corey's setting up some solar panels at sunset.